While on the driver's seat, one of the standout features of the Baleno is the high-resolution multi-information display, or MID. Let's start with the physical layout of the instrument panel in front of the driver. The two large dials here are the tachometer on the left and the speedometer on the right. Each of them house a smaller meter inside them that are the temperature gauge on the left and the fuel gauge on the right. The warning lamp cluster is in the top central portion of the panel. It has a host of lights that indicate various operations or malfunctions. Right in the middle of the instrument panel, you have the multi-information display, or MID. And towards the edges, we have a left and a right MID controller. The left controller is to toggle between the trip meters and to reset them. The right MID controller is the main controller and enables toggling through various MID screens and also to change the settings. Now let's check out the screens on the MID. When you enter the vehicle, the MID first displays an animation of the Baleno with the doors open. In addition to the door ajar warning lamp, this tells us the number of doors that are open and exactly which all doors are open. We next get directions how to start the Baleno. That is to press the clutch and press the engine start-stop button. Once started, we can check all the features of the MID. Let's begin with the MID screen itself. The high-resolution LCD screen has three sections. Atop the screen, we can see the outside temperature. In the lower part of the screen, you can see the trip meter and the odometer. The trip meter, A or B, can be selected from the left MID controller. The left corner here shows the gear shift indicator. The central part of the screen has multiple screens that we can toggle through. This is the clock screen, which shows the time and the date. Moving to the next screen. This display shows the instantaneous acceleration and braking of the vehicle. The next screen shows torque and acceleration. The next screen shows the average fuel consumption and range. The next screen shows the instantaneous fuel efficiency. The next screen shows instantaneous speed of the vehicle over the last trip and the trip duration. You can customize the MID towards the way you want it to display the information. Through the MID, one can also make changes to the security settings of the car. Let's now study each of the features of the MID. While the right MID controller knob is used to toggle through the screen, a long press of the knob opens the settings menu. Let's note the items on the setting menu first. It has distance unit, fuel economy, language, fuel reset, temperature, set sensors, clock setting, door lock, lights, anti-theft, display items, and default. To toggle through this menu, you need to rotate the tip of the MID controller knob. If you rotate it clockwise, you can go down the menu, and rotating it anti-clockwise, you go up the menu. To enter into a menu item, you need to simply select it and then press the knob. Let's start with the first menu item, distance unit. Here you can select the MID to display speed and distance measurements in miles or in kilometers. While in India we use kilometers, most Western countries use miles. Keeping the global audience in mind, the Baleno offers both options. When we toggle to back and press the MID knob, it exits the menu and goes to the main menu. Let's go to the second menu item, which is fuel economy. You can see the unit in which the same is displayed. In India, we use kilometer per liter, so I'm going to leave it at that. Another unit that is used is liters per 100 kilometer, which reports the amount of fuel used to travel 100 kilometers. The MID has options to select US or UK gallons, as there is a difference between the two. The third item on the menu is language, where you can have the MID display information in the language of your choice. You have a choice of English, French, Spanish, German, Italian, Russian, and Turkish. The fourth menu item is fuel reset. This lets you customize when you want your average fuel economy meters to reset. It can be reset in 3 ways: after every refueling, or with reset of trip meter A, or manually by long pressing the right MID controller while on the average fuel economy screen. Through the 5th menu item, that is temperature, you can select between the 2 units of temperature, degree Celsius and degree Fahrenheit. The 6th menu item has an option to customize sensor settings. You can choose between normal and trailer mode. Clock settings is the 7th menu item. You can adjust the time to display the current time. Further, you can select the format in which the time is displayed with option of 12-hour and 24-hour formats. Below the format selector, you have the option to set the date. The 8th item on the main menu, door lock, lets you customize the way the door gets locked or unlocked. You can select the doors that get unlocked when the key is used. Similarly, you can select the way the doors get locked, that is manually or speed sensitive. In speed sensitive mode, doors will be locked once the vehicle reaches a speed of 20 km/h. You can further select the auto unlock to work when the ignition is turned off or set it to synchro off. The alarm option lets you enable and disable the alarm function. Moving on to the 9th menu item, lights. It lets you choose how the footlights and the lane change indicator functions work. We can set the footlights to work with door synchro, which enables illumination as soon as the doors are opened with light synchro. Lane change indicator, when activated, produces 3 blinks to a single press of the indicator stick without engaging it. You can disable this function too. The 10th item on the menu is anti-theft. This feature lets you customize the functioning of the security alarms working. While it has 2 modes, you can also choose the level of sensitivity for P and F. The 11th item on the main menu is to select display items. This further has sub-menus to customize the display. The first item on the sub-menu lets you select the color of the car that appears on the screen. Through the second sub-menu item, you can turn the calendar on or off to show the date along the clock. Date formats can be selected from the third sub-menu, which is calendar form. In India, we follow DD, MM, YYYY format, so let's select this one. The 4th sub-menu item is fuel economy history that lets us select whether the mileage shown is calculated as per time elapsed from last reset or for every drive cycle when initiated. The 5th sub-menu item here is pedal off display. You can turn it on or off. The 12th and the last item is default. We can set all the settings of the MID to their factory defaults. The MID is thus a very useful device, and users can customize it as per their preference and norms followed in their country. Truly global, isn't it?